everyone, and welcome back to Wheel of Crisis. I am Captain. Oh, he's excited. This time he's rearing and ready to go. Wow, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah, no, this time I'm happy with the wheel.
We haven't even spun it yet. How do you know you're happy with the wheel?
Because the last two times we've spun it, we've gotten great stuff, so I have no reason to be annoyed with the wheel. Which means that today we're going to get something bad, and then next time I'll be mad with the wheel.
I guess we'll find out. Today is the 4th episode of Wheel of Crisis. I thought I would spice things up just a tiny bit. We're going to do a little bit of a gimmick, and we're going to put my buddy Austin on the spot. Austin, let me go ahead and pull the wheel up, and I'm just going to guide you through this as we go. So here is the wheel.
Yeah, 'cause I have no idea what Cap's plan is.
He has no idea what we're doing. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. This is going to be very, very simple. We're going to spin the wheel like we always do, and then I'll tell you what's going to happen, all right? Just pretend like you're on a game show, okay?
Okay.
Pretend you're on the pilot for a game show, where they didn't even tell you what the rules are.
Am I going to have to guess what the budget is when it lands on the show?
Yeah, you can't go over either. All right, here we go. Okay. We're going to spin the wheel. There it goes. And we ended up with The Flash, the 1990
$1.50
Flash series. We can either watch the pilot. That is a 2-hour pilot. We can either watch the pilot or we can pick a random episode in the season. I think that would be more fun. I've only seen that whole season one time myself.
Well, I'm sure that's episodic, so we can probably just watch whatever.
It's pretty episodic. So, Austin, I'm going to give you a sadistic choice. Okay?
Oh, okay.
You can either take The Flash, or we can spin again, and you're stuck with whatever we spin after that. So you cannot go back to The Flash. So right now you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. We can spin again, we might get something better, we might get something absolutely horrifying.
Well, you've given me, like, the world-ending button and told me not to push it, so I'm going to say push it. Let's go.
He's going to spin the wheel again, folks. Now, you could have had the Flash 90 series. Hopefully it's not a Zonk prize. And what you've wound up with is Lois and Clark. And Lois and Clark was the very last show that we did. And Austin, I'm going to give you the chance to do it one more time. You can take Lois and Clark, or you can spin the wheel one more time. We're absolutely not spinning again after this. So if whatever you land on, even if it's something we've done before, even if it's the worst thing ever, even if it's Runaways again, you're stuck with it.
No deal. Let's go.
Okay. We are really mixing.
Wait, can I call in a friend?
How many game show references can we get in here? All right, big money, no whammies. We haven't said that yet. Here we go. And we are absolutely doing iZombie. All right. That's a good show. You've never seen that?
No.
Nope. I don't believe.
No, okay, I've never seen that.
So since you've... And that show is... kind of episodic, but very arcy. Like, it definitely has standalone episodes, but if you wind up later in the series, you may have kind of a hard time telling what you're looking at. I've only seen the first 2.5 seasons of that show, I forget, and I'm not even sure how long it went. I know it's ended now. Was it 4 or 5 years?
I'm not sure, to be honest. But with the CW stuff, like, I've seen just random episodes of different CW shows, so if you want to roll the dice for an episode, I'm perfectly fine with doing that.
Sure, we can do that. Just so you know, iZombie does not belong on that network. Like, it's not really a CW show. Like, it's on the CW, but, like, you can't really compare it to the other CW shows.
Well, I've always heard it's great. I've just never watched it.
Okay, my vote would be to roll the dice because I'm somewhat familiar with that show. I say somewhat. I followed it for 2 years, but it's been forever since I've seen that at all. So I'm going to have to rack my brain again and try to remember things about this.
Yeah, I'm looking up the show to find out how many seasons.
Okay, cool, thanks. So yeah, I guess we will roll dice if Austin's cool with that. I don't mind the pilot either. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Yeah, no, I'm perfectly... Okay, so there's 5 seasons.
Wow, that's crazy it was on that long. I need to finish that show. Okay, well, let's go ahead and spin our first die to find out what season we're doing. I guess we'll do, what, a 6 and hope we don't wind up on 6?
I guess if it ends up on 6, it's dealer's choice.
Okay, cool.
Or you can just spin again.
We don't have a cool
Okay,
sound
season
effect
1.
for the dice. Okay, so we're watching season 1, and there were what, 22 episodes?
13.
Oh, that's right. It had a short first season. Actually, you know what? I think most of that show was shorter, wasn't it?
So every season is 13 episodes except 2, which is 19.
I forgot about that. That is why, like I said, it's been that long. I'm thinking CW. It doesn't really operate like a CW show. But that show, I think part of the reason it was as good as it was just because it was tighter. It was able to be shorter. Okay, so let's go ahead and roll, I guess just 12?
Yeah, I guess
we just won't watch the last episode of the season.
Or we can do what we did with Hulk, where we just skip the pilot. It's up to you.
Okay, that's a good point. So we'll add 1 to whatever comes up then. Is that your thought?
Okay. Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, cool. Here we go. And we're watching episode 5 of iZombie.
So it's Flight of the Living Dead.
That won't be a bad place to start. I was really hoping we wouldn't wind up in 4 or 5, because I haven't seen that, and I would be completely lost in the status quo. This is going to be fun. I'm excited. Okay, so that show is on Netflix still, I would imagine.
Yeah, I already have the episode pulled up.
Oh, cool. Okay, let me unscreen share.
Oh, I'll test the audio while you're doing that. Oh, crap. I hope it wasn't picking it up because it was playing out of my TV.
It was a little bit, but no big deal.
Oh,
I'm going to have a little bit of bleed through on my end probably too.
At least it was just for like a second.
Man, I have not seen this show in so long.
That's pretty good. I'll turn it down a bit more. Netflix is going to think I really like this episode because every time I change the volume, it closes and I have to go back in.
Why does he keep watching then?
Why does he keep starting this episode?
Okay, now I know the showrunner of this show did something really popular that I never was it Veronica Mars? I think this is the Veronica Mars guy.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Where he's known for clever dialogue and punchiness.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, it is Veronica Mars, and he co-created the 90210 remake.
Weird.
Yeah, and he's Rob Thomas. I was gonna say, like the old comic book writer worked on this, I guess. Nope.
Nope.
Different one.
Okay, I am ready to go, I think, when you are.
Yeah, I'm ready. I got it on timestamp 0.
All right, folks, if you want to watch it with us, and we encourage you to do that, especially on this show, bring up episode 5 of the first season of iZombie, Flight of the Living Dead, and we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Everybody, please press play right now.
This is like the 8,538th thing that's ever been named after, like, Night of the Living Dead, right?
I think so, yeah. That might be a conservative estimate.
So is this what it was like when you jumped out of a plane?
There's actually less alcohol here than there was when I
Oh,
jumped
really?
out of the plane. Yeah, it was weird. It was kind of unprofessional, but it also took the edge off, right? No, I'm kidding. That did not happen.
Well, that would be for, oh my god.
Oh, previously on Lost.
And that, kids, is why you don't jump out of a plane.
This show gets pretty darn violent and bloody for a thing that aired on the CW.
Yeah, no kidding. That was pretty brutal.
Which it needs to, being the kind of show it is. I mean, that's kind of the joke. That's kind of the anachronism of this show.
So is she a zombie then?
So she's a zombie, but she's a smart zombie.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, she doesn't taste well, and all she really likes is brains. And she's kind of like a vampire with a soul in Buffy or Angel, where
Yeah.
she's, still a good person, but she's got to eat brains to stay alive. And if she hasn't gone, I haven't seen this in so long. If it's been a long time since she's gone without brains, she's going to get closer and closer to losing her mind and not being able to function.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the first thing I was thinking of was like Blade without the serum, but that's true with Buffy too.
And the episodic gimmick of this is whenever she eats somebody's brains, she gets flashes of their memory, and she solves crimes based on that.
Oh, okay. That's like the warm bodies zombie in person romance movie.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, a girl showed me that in high school.
Was she a girl you
It's got
dated? Because she sounds like a keeper.
But it's got the main guy, the guy who plays Beast from the X-Men prequels.
Oh yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah. And his name is R and her name is Julie. And if you can figure out what that's referencing, then you're an intelligent person.
So this show has comic art all through it. Whenever we come away from the intro or from commercial, we always draw over the frame and try to make you feel like you're in a graphic novel. And it's kind of ironic, given the sort of thing this is. It wouldn't necessarily have to be based on a comic, but it has so much reverence for the medium. While there's not a comic book show on TV that does this.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
I mean, a superhero. There's not a superhero show on TV that does this.
Well, it's just funny because you get like Arrow season 1, where like it almost not embarrassed, but like you could easily watch that and have no idea it's based on a comic book. While this, you could easily get away with it because it's not that comic booky like superhero thing. But it's just like, no, we love comics,
and it is very like modern, like kitschy graphic novel in its tone. So it's also very appropriate to do that if it wants to. It just didn't necessarily have to. I mean, I'm not saying this is the only show that's ever done it. I'm just saying that all the like mainstream superhero shows, none of them do that. Heroes did that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. See, I'm happy with my extra roles because we ended up in a genre that I like.
Yeah. Yeah, we ended up with certainly the best show of the three, just not necessarily the best show to watch talking over and not having experienced it before. But I am kind of glad that you rolled the wheel again, because as much as I love Lois and Clark, I wouldn't have wanted to do that twice in a row necessarily.
Yeah, no, for sure. Well, that was kind of my reaction when it came up, was like, oh, that was a good show, but it would have been cool if we got something that we didn't just do.
So this is one of my favorite like TV cops. He's just fantastic, and this white guy is Liv's old boyfriend who is trying to put everything together through the season, and he will eventually figure out her secret, and it won't be too horribly Smallville about it.
Oh, awesome.
And they take him in surprising, crazy places that I won't spoil because you may want to watch more of the show later. Also has a lot of reference for horror films and B-horror and that kind of thing. Which goes over my head, but you'll appreciate a lot, I'm sure. I will say, he makes that face a lot. That cop likes to stick his tongue out all the time.
Oh, weird.
Oh, that's right. His name is Major. So that's not it. That's not that guy's rank. His name is Major.
Hopefully he becomes a major at one point.
I can't remember if they do that joke or not. This show is also one of the better examples of voiceover through a show. They get away with it really well. It's not like obnoxiously sappy. It's and you kind of, it's kind of her journal, and she's talking a lot about the kind of like personal growth and evolution that she goes through throughout the show. It would actually be kind of interesting to put them all together and see how that would read as a story, because I think it almost would work.
If there's someone I owe it to, it's Ollie. That friend of hers seemed so sure this wasn't an accident. I have to know if someone did this to her.
There is a big bad zombie like Spike kind of character in the show, who's the guy. I don't know if he shows up in this episode. He's in the intro that we saw earlier, but he's the guy who turned her into a zombie, and he has a whole really interesting but fun master plan where he's turning people into zombies on purpose.
Oh, cool.
Dumb ways to die, so many dumb ways to die.
See, this episode's like aimed straight at me because I hate heights.
So you would not go skydiving with me then?
No, I would need a lot more than drinks.
And I was joking. I was not drinking. And also it was like 11 o'clock in the morning.
I'd be like, stick the heroin needle in me and I'll jump.
Oh my god. I probably drank at the restaurant when we were done.
I think she was dying as a consequence of life, but a girl. That's a nice thought. People who say that can comfort their life. I remember one time.
So like the crocodile hunter guy?
After I got an 89 on the
Oh, Crocodile Hunter's awesome.
okay, insane, but I get it. And she was like,
But he was a die of the consequence of life kind of guy, right?
start sucking her marrow. And on the way
Yeah.
to Theta, we hopped
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
That whole thing was really sad.
One of the best friends I ever had.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Told me that. Feels like cheated on. And yet we both voted to kick her out of Blue Theta. Not our finest moment. Okay, but you're forgetting how like over the top she was. Remember when she come crashing home at like 4 a.m. and she'd leave her naked strays on the couch for us to find?
The way, this is kind of funny, the way Liv gets away with being as pale as she is people just assume she's goth. She's like, it's just the look I'm going for now. And anybody that thinks that's dumb and you can't get away with that, just consider we had to use makeup in a TV show to make her look like that, so it's not unreasonable for her to tell people it's makeup.
You need to look into Holly White. She's the skydiver from yesterday.
Yeah, she just looks like she doesn't go outside.
That really is
I've definitely seen people that are that pale.
still waiting on toxicology. In the meantime,
Yeah, but they do enough around her eyes to make it a little more than that when you're getting close-ups.
No, of course. I just mean for passing it off for other people.
old Tracy, I saw him freak out on her. He scared her. And one of her friends is sure he
I probably told you this before, but she was a Power Ranger in one of the best seasons of that show,
from college.
RPM.
Oh,
And
I
that's-
don't think you've told me specifically, but I think I've heard you mention that.
Yeah, that's
videos
where she
before.
gets her start.
Old Tracy.
So she's had a really nice track record for genre stuff. She got to be in what a lot of people consider the best episode of Power, or the best series of Power Rangers, and then she got to be in the best comic book show on the CW.
But is that the
Almost
cop
objectively.
Power Rangers?
Say it again.
So is that the cop Power Rangers?
No, that's the post-apocalyptic Terminator Power Rangers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're thinking of SPD, but our RPM is a different thing.
Oh, yes, because we talked about this the one day, and I combined them as the title, where I was like RPD.
I'll have to show you some of that at some point. RPM, and I haven't seen a lot of that show. I need to watch through it. But RPM is...
Oh my god. This woman's nuts.
Well, I mean, if you're dead, you know. Oh, that's right. I didn't tell you this. So she gets memories, but she also takes on personality traits. So it's basically like a long-lasting mind melt.
Yeah.
So the woman that was skydiving, they're assuming died because she was too adventurous. I think it will turn out to be a little bit more than that, but it's true that was in her personality, and so now all of a sudden Liv is doing that. And so she has that whole kind of quantum leap, like live in somebody's shoes for a day thing while simultaneously being herself. that's one of the things that makes it very difficult for her to keep her secret from her cop friend, and that was always one of my gripes about this first season, is it takes him a little too long to figure it out. I think, or at least to catch on to, there's something crazy going on with her. But my favorite thing is episodes where she takes on like male personality traits, because they have a lot of fun with like gender roles and things.
Oh, okay, cool.
What happened up in that plane? Why did you jump last? Why couldn't they find you when you landed?
Thank you, Detective Moore.
Why ask when you can just watch the helmet cam footage?
That's what we're gonna see when it comes in.
Holly jumped first because I got nervous. Walls back down. You asked to last jump. I asked to go forward.
Asked implies nicely.
See, I don't trust anybody that has spiked up hair but one strand going down the middle of their forehead. This guy's guilty.
Which probably means he's not. I haven't seen this in a long time. I don't remember what happens in this.
I just look at mysteries like Scooby-Doo mysteries, where it's just the first person you meet, and then they just hope that you don't remember by the time you get to the reveal.
This is a really good mystery show. I very often can't call it. Not that I'm great at that, but it manages to go places you don't expect all the time. I think it's better at that in the overarching narrative than it is episode to episode. But it does a really good job of having individual mysteries episode to episode, and then also having larger looming mysteries beyond it. And it gets more arcy as it goes, like a lot of these things do. So this first season is a lot more episodic than it gets later, but it's still really tightly woven, so it's not like it doesn't know what it is yet. But the overarching stuff gets really interesting when you get into all the Max Rager stuff. We've been foreshadowing that a lot through the season, so we saw a truck earlier that said Max Rager on it, and that is a like new soda, or like an energy drink thing that people are drinking when they work out, and it is related to zombies, is all I'll say.
So they're putting chemicals in our sodas that turn us into zombies.
That is pretty much what's going on. Friends with death benefits. They also get really punny.
No.
Now I want to watch through the show again, and then finish the show.
See, the wheel is good. I like the wheel.
Reminds you what you're missing.
Mm-hmm. My faith in the wheel was not misplaced on this day.
That was a good set of spins there. I guess that choice wasn't sadistic enough.
No, it was a good one. It would be like if Green Goblin held Mary Jane up from the Spider-Man 3 Mary Jane versus like the truck full of kids. It's like that's not even a choice at that point.
Originally, I thought about just spinning it twice and letting you pick between them, but I thought it would be fun if you were like, "Oh, that seems all right, but let's see what we get," and then you spin again, and you're like, "Oh no! I wish I had the other thing, but my plan backfired." Yeah, this is a somewhat more low-key episode than they sometimes are.
He's really a great artist overall.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting this to be such like a mystery, like murder mystery type show.
He was acting like a bitch, and Holly made it her business and tried to find out what was up.
Yeah, it starts off more procedural, like I said, but it remains a detective show all the way through, or at least up to where I was. I don't know. It may get less that way as status quo shifts, because we were getting into some insane status quo shifts later, so it gets very ambitious. I will say it gets to a oh no, impending zombie apocalypse is probably upon us kind of place.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Because in the background you've got all these people turning into zombies and nobody knows about it. So it's a slow burn zombie apocalypse.
Miss Marquez, under the impression you've been a one and only for the better part of a year. Please, don't tell Eliza. Please.
I don't trust people with frosted tips either, but
It'll ruin everything.
No.
Let's just keep this between us. You don't know how important this is to me.
And the one woman I used to work with, like, kept trying to convince me to get frosted tips.
oh wow.
It's like, no way.
Carson's hiding something. I had a vision. He was freaking out about Holly making him tell people.
I should also mention this show
If I had to guess,
goes to all of the progressive places that the other CW shows do and more, and doesn't pat itself on the back for it, isn't pandery about it. It's just,
no.
this is the world we live in now. I'm going to tell stories about what's happening in the world now. It's very refreshing.
Oh, cool.
If it decides to introduce a homosexual couple, it doesn't have to be like, look at us, we're okay with gay people. Like, they're just there.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't stop and be like, look at this. Aren't we good?
Maybe it was just a senseless tragedy. If you live
Which in my mind made it one of the more progressive shows on television.
maybe I should just try to enjoy the last few days I have with Holly.
It was also weird after watching some of this, going back and watching Dexter, because I think this show sometimes gets as violent and rough looking as that show was.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, I've never watched that either.
Oh, I forgot Principal Quan was in this show.
I was
okay.
gonna say, isn't that the guy from, The Tick?
No, that's a
Oh, so we both had, oh my
different-
god, it's this person, but I was wrong.
that's a different guy. I'm pretty sure. No, that's not who that is. Who is that guy? That's also somebody who's in another thing I like. But I think that's a different guy. Anyway, but this guy was the principal in Smallville,
Oh, okay.
and he's like a CW staple. He shows up in some of their shows, and I think he's in Heroes somewhere. Maybe the Heroes relaunch,
Clive,
which I'll never watch again.
sodium oxybate in her system.
Unless it comes up on the wheel.
Minutes after she ingested the key.
Oh yeah, I'll eject myself from the call. You can have that.
Live more. Emmy's office. Yeah. A few months.
Sir. Congratulations, Batman. You managed to get it on the board. Don't screw it up.
Spoiler alert, but that guy dies in both shows.
I'm sorry I got you into trouble.
Oh, no.
We cannot keep that guy alive in things.
He's like the CW Sean Bean.
I'll be at Carson's tonight for Holly's memorial. Whoever killed her would probably be there too, eating deli meat off a toothpick and talking about the good times.
That's perfect. You can take a look around.
During my friend's memorial,
We'll never have another invitation to Carson's house without a warrant. Just keep that third eye open.
Yeah, so he thinks that she's a psychic.
Oh, okay.
So he keeps her around and has her help out because he thinks she has a superpower, but does not think that she's an undead zombie.
hey you.
Hey,
You're the only one here who looks like someone just died.
sorry, my mind's somewhere else.
Jerome? Is anyone we know here?
Yeah, it's like a UW reunion. Everyone's rising the occasion, which why do you want it?
Now, I will say, in a lot of ways, this show does look like a CW show, but I think they intentionally use that to throw you off, where you won't think it could possibly be as smart as it is. And, like, it hires a lot of the same kind of, like, you know, pretty face people and stuff, and then they get, like, really interesting character arcs, and they're not just there because they look good.
Vodka. Where?
Phone me.
It really felt like this guy came in and was trying to show the CW how to do it. Like,
Yeah, like I'm gonna take your style and make something good with it.
maybe hope some other people would follow suit. which didn't really happen much, but
Hi. Can't say I expected Seattle PD to be here. Just came to pay my respects.
yeah, I'm pretty sure this show got an honest to God ending. I don't think it got canceled.
Yeah, bordering on sleazy, actually.
Sorry. I don't mean to
Yeah, I have a
be
bad
rude.
habit for
We set this
falling in
up
love with shows that just stop.
I'm Holly's friend, actually.
Yeah.
And considering one of you drugged her before the jump, I may be the best friend she had in this 10-foot radius.
Yeah, for a second earlier, I wasn't sure if it was completely over or it was announced that it was in, but I'm pretty sure it finished up and didn't straight up get canceled.
I'm still crying over Ash vs. the Evil Dead being canceled.
I thought that was because he just didn't want to do it anymore.
No, the studio was like real weird with releasing the last season too, where they kind of like held off on it for a bit.
Oh, weird. Were they not happy with it?
I don't know. I guess maybe we just wasn't bringing in the
Look at those
numbers they wanted.
posters!
Funny, I saw everything but a herpes ad around here.
I love herpes ads. Whoa.
Fuzzy handcuffs. Tells you everything you need to know about a person, Austin.
Well, handcuffs and condoms. Stuff that the typical CW audience has never seen before.
Let's see, that's what this episode should have been called. What, you don't think it would bring in the viewers?
Maybe not the right viewers.
If memory serves, so Ravi runs the morgue. His name just finally came to me, and I think the idea is that from the beginning he knows that she's a zombie, but he's the only one that does, and he spends a lot of time trying to mix up brains with ingredients that will make it taste better for her.
Put a little pepper on there. Yeah, because they were talking about it in the scene earlier where they were looking at the body.
Well, I don't think they did this episode, but a lot of episodes will show you how she prepares. She'll take just bits of brain from somebody that's died in a morgue and somebody that she wants to like investigate, because murders happen all the time. And she and they'll do like a quick clip thing where they'll show you like what she's making. So sometimes it's tacos, sometimes it's chili, and
God, if only Hannibal Lecter knew, he could have just worked doing autopsies.
Before exams when I got maybe 2 hours sleep. I wish I hadn't voted the way I did for stupid reasons now.
It hasn't been easy for you doing all sorts of. I'm sorry to see all that.
You too.
Are you good friends?
I think this is supposed to be the first time it's somebody she knows. I think that's the
You know, we'd always do a shot before a jump.
big thing about this episode.
Oh, I just assumed it was because she's got the person's like memories, so she's just saying it's a friend.
Whose turn was it?
Is that what it is, or does she actually know her? I just can't remember.
Yeah, I just assumed it was that.
Did he
You might be right. This is not the easiest thing to talk over.
I don't remember. I was a little bit cryptic.
It's a pointless exercise.
Listen and remember in a secret relationship?
I wouldn't call it a relationship, but whatever it was not so secret. Something that friends know about, but the world can't. Well, until just now. I am reckless and pursue brownie points.
You think telling me all this will make you look less guilty?
I'm telling you all this.
I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure she is either Australian or from New Zealand.
Why did Ren think you were to blame? They all said that you didn't.
Pretty sure if you go listen to her in interviews, she's got an accent.
Well, that changed.
Oh, okay.
His accent made me think of that. It made me remember that.
I guess that makes sense because wasn't Power Rangers filmed there?
Yep. Yeah, you get a lot of New Zealand actors there. They're not. I don't think they're all shot there, but some of the Disney era was.
Zombie.
Yeah, I thought I remembered that with him, but I didn't want to tell you about it.
The perks of dating a zombie.
Pale in comparison.
With the avowed boy kid, right?
They do it every time.
Oh, he mentioned the movie I said.
Blonde hair, pale skin.
See, that went totally over my head when I saw this.
Your new star.
I don't know. The freakiest blonde people see my soul strike conscious.
Both zombies?
So a lot of the tricks that he's using to look less zombie-like, we either know already or are going to find out that the big bad guy of the season has been doing also.
You ate Holly's.
I have to know what
I think.
Fair enough.
I wish we were watching an episode with that guy. He's amazing.
One of those psychotic zombie moments, yeah.
One of the most charismatic villains in anything.
Oh, cool.
Is that the preferred nomenclature? I started to go into zombie mode on the plane. My adrenaline was going, I could feel myself changing and I to jump so she could get away from me. Then I didn't
Boy, that's not a place where you want to turn into a zombie.
full on frothing at the mouth zombie on the way.
No, but it's the type of place you want to be when somebody near you turns into a zombie, because then you can just jump out. Or throw like the zombie out.
Out of the plane.
Yeah.
I'll lock you up.
I can't remember if there's a good enough reason for it, but just in the moment right now, it's a little weird that after she gets, like, tips from other zombies about how to not look like a zombie, she never uses them, just so that she keeps looking like she's supposed to in the show. Because you don't want the a new person, the audience, to come in and not understand what's going on. Wait a minute, who's the iZombie? Which one is iZombie?
What's like iRobot, but zombie. Will Smith, he's like dealing with zombies. He hates them.
We gotta deal with the 3 laws of zombiness.
Yeah. And in the classic story, the zombies are always good, but in the show, they're evil.
It's just more dramatic that way.
Yeah.
Put your butt over here.
Everything that's dark and gritty is dramatic.
Come on, man. What do you want? You know what you want. You seen him? Nah, he ain't been around lately. And no, I don't know where he went. It's like everybody else. What do you mean everybody else?
I always wanted to go listen to this guy, see if he's got any interviews. So I was wondering if some of like the voice he's doing is a thing that he's affecting, or if he just sounds like that. He's always got this like buzz in the back of his throat where he's like, and he talks like that all the time. And I love it for this character, but I just wonder if that actor, if that's just what he sounds like. Always sounds like he needs to clear his throat.
He's a zombie. He's got like a.
He's not a zombie.
Oh, it's the Runaways.
It's gonna be a intercompany. It's unfortunate the first DC Marvel intercompany crossover in 25 years is Runaways and iZombie.
Is that unfortunate or very fortunate?
I guess
I can
it
see
depends on
it either way.
whether you have no taste like Austin.
No, iZombie's like, look, Runaways,
This is how you
and
do it.
show you what to do.
We're gonna make people care by giving people personalities and having like a.
Do you have the same pallor? Why
No, I just want to see the Runaways get eaten by zombies.
A rational and logical pacing of scenes. And a progression of scenes.
And this show would show us the dinosaur.
I did that. Guess I wasn't thinking about it.
And it would
I'm
become
sure
a
that
zombie
happens
dinosaur.
I don't know.
Wanna know we're not watching the pilot? But just so you know, the pilot doesn't open with here's a bunch of people. And then here's a bunch of people that are kind of just like them and they all suck. And then here's a bunch more people that are just like them, but they all suck.
Yes. I
It
don't know.
doesn't spend 40 minutes just introducing people.
No. No, it's a really good pilot too. It tells like a story
Hmm.
while also introducing everyone.
Wow.
I know you've never experienced that before, but there are shows that do that.
What, so all zombies are killers now?
Oh no, he's a zombie racist.
It's not that.
He's stereotyping zombies. He's zombie profiling.
He's zombie. She's gonna start zombie splaining.
She already did. She totally was just zombies. I can't even say it. I can't even say that out loud.
Two-time gold medalist, kept overalling it for fancy watch company, luxury cars, wasting money and talent.
What do you mean?
I mean, you were scared your sponsors wouldn't applaud if they heard you and Red Smith were,
Oh, I remember this now.
to spill your secrets, so you shut her up.
Yeah, I've only seen any of these once. I don't think I've ever rewatched an episode of this show.
Dude, none of that is true.
We definitely have a review of this episode on the channel because
That's the prescription.
I did at least the first season and a half back when we were doing Crisis.
It's not my handwriting. This
Oh yeah, that was back when you were still doing
prescription fraud.
one for every episode.
Yeah, and every comic book show on television. I've still never read the comics. I don't know the source material.
Boy, did that spiral out of control.
GHB. Wait a minute. Eliza must.
Why would Eliza want to kill Holly? Because you were still hooking up with her?
No, it's her stupid job. It is like a cult over there at Max Fraser. It's not just a company, it is a lifestyle. What does that have to do with Holly? A few weeks ago, I was accidentally copied on.
Yeah, it's interesting going back to this,
It's this secret.
knowing where all the Max Ranger stuff goes.
1 in 1,000 people go psychotic. One guy even died or tried to kill someone. I was with Holly when I got the email, so I let her read it. She started freaking out, saying that Max Ranger was going to cover the whole thing up, and I needed to forward the email to some journalist. And if I didn't do it, she would. But that's insane, right? Like ratting out the company that pays my bills. So I told Eliza about Holly. I thought she could talk Holly out of it. Eliza said she would take care of it. I did not know she meant take care of it Tony Soprano style.
You were right about the frosted tips. It was Joey Fatone here.
Yeah, see, I knew that first guy. It couldn't be that guy because he
'Cause
looked.
he was the first guy.
Yeah, well, but also he looked too squeaky clean.
Hmm.
They like to throw like bro dudes under the bus and stuff. I figured it had to be that guy. And also, I've seen this, but I didn't remember where it was going.
Well, you know that guy really loves Jason Momoa Aquaman.
Oh, of course. If he took his shirt off, he'd have all the tattoos.
You'd even have damage somewhere.
See, BVS. That's the first thing a detective is gonna look for. He opens the. He opens the stove. There's something fresh in there. Oh, he didn't expect anything to happen to him. They do that in BVS. Lois has to go to the paraplegic's fridge, open it up, see that he just went to the grocery store, and after the police have already combed over the crime scene, she's like, oh, he couldn't have been involved in the bombing because he just went grocery shopping. Really, the cops couldn't figure that out?
He was last seen downtown at the skate park. There's something shady going on down there. I've never seen anything like it. There's over 60 outstanding missing persons reports in the past 6
Oh yeah, the skate park is where they pick up. Is where our big bad picks up a lot of zombies for his.
Oh, that's like Shredder and the Ninja Turtles.
That's true. It is kind of like that.
I've been looking into it a long time. We go to work when there's a body, only when there's
He's basically doing like a. I don't know if it's the right way to put it, like a pyramid scheme, but he's basically like building a company of turning people into zombies. So
Is that
basically, what he'll
Tabasco
do.
sauce?
I don't think this is spoiling too much because it's just telling you kind of the villain motivation. I think we get to it pretty quickly, but what we'll find out is that he basically turns people into zombies and then sells them brains at like a really high cost so that he can make money. It's
Oh,
a
so
pretty,
he's like a zombie, like drug dealer,
yeah,
basically.
it's a pretty
That's
clever
cool.
scheme. Yeah.
Really? How much you pay for him? I'm looking at a pair like that.
Too bad I got the last pair.
Hey,
Oh, it's Patrick Warburton.
It's angry Patrick Warburton.
Bitch.
That guy should play Barry Hubris in The Tick. If we still had a Tick show.
At least we have the boys.
Shh. I haven't watched that yet.
Yeah, but maybe we'll do a the boys versus the Tick crossover.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen. That's how I wanted that to come back.
Yeah, you remember how they're setting up the team in season 2? The boys ended up being the team they made.
So you always have to have a transformation of some kind in a cult show like this. Some Buffy, they have when the vampires turn, they've got the furrowed brows.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty messed up.
Oh my god.
And here it's the red eyes.
Hey,
Wow.
He's just coming right out with his t-shirt and saying he's a zombie. It says 27 and dead. It's hilarious.
Beelzebub's burn. Made with the world's hottest chili pepper, the Jalopia.
Salesman promised me that it would.
Yeah, they have to make everything as spicy as possible so they can taste anything. So like the opposite of a super taster.
Thank you.
Okay. So here's the speech. The zombie thing.
I always loved that the show had a clear set of rules for how the zombies work, and is like really interested in presenting mythology.
And
It's a surprisingly rich world. Like, I don't care about zombie stuff usually. Although I
Yeah.
ended up liking Walking Dead a lot more than I thought I would. So I guess I do like that stuff, but I didn't immediately gravitate toward it.
Well, and zombies aren't one of my favorite horror things, but this already is just doing its job to separate itself, because zombies became really big in pop culture for a while. They were just everywhere.
Yeah. Right around the time the show started was
Yeah.
either the peak or right after the peak. I mean, Walking Dead's been on for 10 years now, which means it would have been in like season 4 or 5 when this came out. So I don't know if we can call that the peak, but right around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 'cause you had the kind of like vampire thing with Twilight, although that was more of the Lord of the Rings thing, where it was really just big for that one specific franchise.
Yeah,
And then we
and
immediately went into
I
zombies.
guess the zombie thing was a little bit more than just that one franchise, but it was primarily Walking Dead, right?
That was the big thing, but it was just kind of everywhere. There was a ton of zombie stuff.
Well, that's true, because you did have World War Z and stuff like that, which
And you
predates it, but I think that got popular again after that, and
you got Warm Bodies, that movie I referenced. You
that the
get
show also referenced.
no, you just get like a bunch of different zombie stuff. Like even in like Call of Duty, that was when they started doing zombies. Like, it was just kind of everywhere.
Yeah, that's true. Call of Duty did zombies as early as 2010, 2009.
Something like that.
I know I was hearing about it
I think
back when I worked at a video game store, and that was 2010.
2011 maybe. 2010, 2011.
Yeah. But anyway, so that was episode 5 of that show. Kind of a weird thing to just jump into, but I'm glad you got to watch something earlier.
Yeah, and I didn't really feel like I needed to know everything that happened beforehand to understand what was going on. It was pretty isolated. I'm sure I probably would have caught more of the overall stuff.
Certainly, yeah, but you weren't lost. It's a simple premise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's just zombie girls solving mysteries. Give her like 4 friends and a dog, and there you go.
It gets crazy. That episode was reeled in for that show, and I think partly it had a somewhat somber tone, or I mean, somber's not the right word, but it felt more reserved. I think partly because they knew they were leading to that horrible thing happening at the end to Major, and so they didn't want to be all like fun and crazy and kitschy in that particular episode.
Oh, now I gotta look out for that guy.
Yep, gotta look out for that guy. But anyway,
Major's not gonna live to be a major.
I won't tell you anything about that. But so yeah, what'd you think of that?
That was really good. Yeah.
That
Yeah, I liked it. I'll probably watch more of this when I get a chance.
I was gonna say that strikes me as a thing that you'd probably really dig.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think so. It's more like my cup of tea.
I see it very much as a modern Buffy. It's clever like that show was. It's unpredictable like that show was. It pushes envelopes, and it tries really hard not to just be the same thing you've seen a thousand times in a genre. And it's it's that kind of horror comedy thing at the same time.
Yeah, for sure. Except I'd say it goes even farther with being different, just in that, like, I've never seen a zombie thing that looks like that.
Yeah.
Because we always go zombie apocalypse with zombies. It's either like slightly before when it's happening or like after the fact. That's kind of the two things you do.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it was probably inevitable to at some point have like a good guy talking zombie, and I'm sure some other things have kind of done that, but that's the first thing on TV that's tried it.
Yeah. Well, you got my boy Bob behind me, who was a talking zombie.
Oh.
That's from Day of the Dead, where they're trying to teach one to talk, and he like salutes a guy at the end.
I've never seen that. That's funny. Well, folks, thanks a lot for watching. Hope you had a good time with us. We will see you again real soon with another one. And in the meantime, I was Captain Logan. This was The Day Ghost.
That was me, and I was happy to watch some zombies, some day zombies.
That is 3 good shows in a row, by the way, which means we are screwed next time.
Yeah, we finally hit a pattern of just good stuff. Although I shouldn't say finally, considering we've done 4 shows.
What's really funny is if you had stuck with either of the 2 things you spun in the first place, it still wouldn't have been terrible.
No.
Like the 90 Flash show, it has its ups and downs, but it's not like a terrible show.
Well, I would have just hoped that we got the Mark Hamill episode.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great.
Yeah.
Or at least hilarious.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I assumed the 90s Flash is. It's just really funny.
Yeah, it stops taking itself so seriously toward the end, so it's able to go to places like that. Earlier, it's just a little dull. It's kind of boring. And like it gets
that's
weird.
When it tries to be Batman, right?
It wants to be Batman. Yeah, exactly. It's an interesting pilot.
Weird.
Anyway, well, once again, thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you again next time. Bye, everybody.